Very good. Thank you, everyone from, pretty much all over the world. Pretty exciting. So what I want to say to you to start here is that you are not broken. You are not damaged. There's nothing wrong with you. You may think that. Your mind may tell you that there's something wrong with you, that you're a failure, that you're a mess. And your mind may have been telling you that for a very long time, so much so that you believe it. But it's not true. And what we're doing here in our time together is it's a process of shedding. Like a snake sheds a skin, we're going to identify what it is that makes us feel like we're broken, we're not good enough, or somehow there's something wrong with us. We're going to study these patterns and ideas and the emotions that go with them, the belief systems that we develop. And by looking at them with a close lens, like really close up, so that we can see what's actually happening in us when we're caught, we can learn to have a new relationship with our experience so that we can uncover our natural essence, our being, our fullness, our aliveness, the possibility that all of us carry to live fully in our lives. I came up with the title of this course with very intentionally, Deep Trauma Healing. It's kind of obvious. We're going to go in and take a look at the ways that we get caught that come from early on in life. And then the second part is finding ease and well-being in daily life. That's the point. We're not going to get stuck in healing forever. It is a path we walk forever, that's true. But what's so lovely is that this is your moment right now. So over and over, we're going to look at how can we find our way through the entanglements of our patterns right now in the moment so that we can have a new relationship with them where they're not in the driver's seat anymore. So what that means is emotions can come, but they don't necessarily derail you. You can feel the urge of a pattern, whatever that might be, and we'll talk about that in lots of detail. But it doesn't have to grab you so much that you can't appreciate the present moment. So over and over, we come more and more into our aliveness that's here right now, that's possible for all of us. So no matter what your mind is telling you right now, because minds don't always tell the truth. I don't know if you realize that, but our minds don't always tell us the truth. In fact, rarely. So if we don't listen to our minds telling us that familiar story about what's wrong with us and how we can't heal and how it's going to last forever and it's too late for me, I'm too old. That's all minds trying to just confuse things. But when we put the mind aside, or we see through it, or we just have a moment of just opening, this is it, this breath, these sensations, whatever I'm seeing and hearing and feeling, this connection that I feel with the person in front of me. That's what's possible for all of us. So I want to say a bit about what is trauma. But before that, I think what I want to do is just let us all land together. So we'll do a bit of a guided meditation, not very long today. So if it feels right for you to close your eyes, you can do that. If it feels right to soften your gaze, you can do that. If even that feels like too much for you, because I really want you to take care of yourselves here, if whatever I say doesn't feel like the right thing for you, you can distract, you can turn off your video, you can, just take care of yourself. That's important. So if it feels right for you, just go ahead and close your eyes. And what we're going to do is slow everything down so that we can come more and more into what's happening for us right now. With trauma, when we have unexplored trauma from the past, which really boils down to extreme emotional pain, some experience, and here we're going to be dealing with the past, so some experience or some, sustained experience over time for many of us for years. It causes emotional pain. That's the trauma that we're dealing with here. So if we don't explore it, it keeps running. And you probably know that. We have this frantic kind of aspect to us about fixing it and controlling it and making it better and just barely keeping our heads above water. But here we want to create a safe space so that we can begin to explore what happens in our own experience. And what that means is, what are we thinking? What emotions are present? How do we feel in our bodies? What's the energy of the moment? Trauma patterns are very self-focused. Our thoughts are about me and more me and more me. Am I safe? Am I being accepted? Am I getting attention? Am I okay? What's wrong with me? How can I fix that? Does any of that sound familiar to you? That's the thinking of a trauma pattern. So right now, we want to come into the present moment just as best as you can. Not to think to take you away, but to feel, first of all, the breath. Just not needing to change the breath or do anything with it, or it doesn't matter. Just to notice, how is the breath moving in you right now? Be curious. Like, what is happening in this moment with the breath? Like you've never taken a breath before in your entire life. Like, what is this experience like to breathe? What is the inhale? What is the exhale? What moves in the body? So as we explore our inner experience, we get curious, like, what is this? You've lived in your body, in your mind, in your life for however many years you've been on this planet. But we want to bring a fresh view to things. So it starts with a sense of not knowing. And then we get curious, like, what is this? And we're open, meaning we don't know. We're open to what we find. If we stay in what we already know, nothing will change. That's what feeling stuck is, or being stuck. We're in the same lane, back and forth, where we feel the same way about ourselves and we do the same things and we get in the same situations that aren't serving our happiness. We show up the same way in relationships. So here's the invitation for something fresh and new. And that is to get curious, to not know, and to let it be shown to you. When I started doing this exploration many years ago, I was blown away by what I found. I couldn't believe how many feelings were in me that I just didn't even realize. And that's when the healing began, when I saw what was actually going on. So this is the opportunity that we have here together to begin to do a U-turn with our attention inward, to take a closer look at what we're experiencing in any moment. So we're noticing without preference. So whatever you notice in the breath, it's just fine, just the way it is. It doesn't need to be fixed or made different. It's not wrong. It shouldn't be some other way. So we're unconditionally accepting the breath as it is. No judgment. No need to change it. This is the kind of noticing that we bring to our experience. It's very kind when we simply, it's something very simple. We just notice what's here and what's happening in us right now without needing to change it. It's a simple hello. Hello, inhale. Hello, exhale. I see you. I feel you, however you want to be. This is the beginning of knowing how to create safe space for ourselves. And for some of us, it might be extremely uncomfortable to go inward. And if for any reason it's overwhelming, take care of yourself. You have complete permission just to do whatever you need to do to distract or whatever. But if it's okay for you right now, and trust yourself on this, just turn your attention into the breath, just to notice what's happening. And take a look at your emotions, just to see with curiosity, is there any emotion present right now? It could be anything. Fear, anxiety, panic, anger, rage, grieving, sadness. So the invitation here is for you to be this observing presence, this loving presence, just noticing what's happening. And how is that for you to notice with curiosity? And then let's take a look at the body. What sensations are present in your body right now? And it could be anything. You could feel your feet on the floor, your butt in the chair. Maybe you feel jitteriness or shutdown, numbness, quiet, excitement, excited energy. We get to be this noticing, welcoming, loving presence for whatever comes. So, right now, in the way that we're doing this exploration, there's no problem to solve. Maybe you find your emotions as something to fix, like, oh, I feel sad right now. I have to do something to fix that. Right, I understand that way of being with it, but right now the invitation is something different. It's just to acknowledge, to notice, to welcome. Oh, okay, there's sadness here right now. That's all. You don't need to do anything with it. So come back to the breath just for another moment. And then when it feels right to you, you can open your eyes.